Hello everyone and welcome back. It is I, Wizalix. So here we are to play the Grace Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time that we played, we started this new investigation about something that we don't know, but we also finished the last one about Mr. McGillid, who unfortunately died just after the trial. Who did it? We don't know. We will see. Okay, could we trouble you? What do you think? Yes? Lovely weather, isn't it? What's the weather got to do with anything? That's the inspector. What'll do? Listen to me, you young Japanese upstarts. Don't worry about the weather doesn't get the real English cans eating out of your hand, you know? Citizen told me it was foolproof. I'm a busy man, a very busy man. There's a crime scene to investigate, and I'm here having to give the likes of you talking to. I'm ever so sorry. Can you imagine what the other officers they will be saying, huh? Haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have you? No, he's too busy with the big wigs these days. And all because of some bumpkin who's here on Jones from country I've never even heard of. Hear that ripping sound? There's reputation of the yard going to tatters. There's no need to rip us apart as well. I don't believe we've been introduced. This is Mr. Rinosuke Naruhodo, a defense lawyer. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Sato. It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it? It's unseasonably fine, I grant you. London winters don't see a lot of sunshine. Magic. So, Lord Strongheart has asked me to fill you in on the case. Name's Tobias Gregson. Inspector Gregson to you. I'm from Scotland Yard. What's the matter with Sato-san? Does this detective name mean something to her? Inspector, are you perhaps the Inspector Gregson? What do you mean? I'm talking about Holmes. Sholmes. I always say Sholmes, not this other character from Siri that I don't even know. Yeah. You're acting like like you know this man, Mr. Sato, but he's a London detective. I do know him very well, in fact, very well, as he features prominently in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Or in that publication, what's it called again? Rand's Magazine. That's right, Inspector Gregson and Mr. Holmes enjoy wonderful friendly rivalry. Your rival, great Mr. Holmes. It's incredible. Well, I don't know about that. Mr. Holmes isn't a professional like myself, of course, but he does come up with the goods from time to time. Mr. Holmes is a complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he? You've earned his highest praise. Gregson is the pick of a bad lot of all the Scandinavians. Those were his own words. That's his highest praise. But Mr. Holmes is particularly known for giving compliments, you see. That he is not, and thanks to the magazine, my name is known all over London town now. That's great, no? I have to admit that to start with I was a little, well, flattered by all the attention. Everyone wanted to shake my hand and my reputation at the yard went through the roof. Oh, that's wonderful. No, it is not. There's nothing more sinister than the man on the street. People are always looking at me now. They're whispering rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure. Are you quite sure? He's changed since he started appearing in the stories. The fame's gone to his head. Stuff like that. You really think people are saying such mean-spirited things about you? Like I said, they whisper. I can't catch exactly what's saying. I know what folk are like. I'm sure that's what they're saying. As sure as eggs is eggs. I get the feeling this decade could be very hard to walk. Perhaps a sudden rise to fame does change people. Yeah, whatever. The other case that the Lord Chief Justice mentioned before. Nothing to tell really. As far as we're concerned, at the yard, it couldn't be simpler. Again. That probably means, as far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated. I wish we were wrong about that, but I have a nasty feeling you're right. The young woman was walking along the pavement on the Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. Fortunately, it wasn't fatal. She's still laid up in hospital unconscious. Despicable. What sort of coward will attack the poor woman from behind? I suppose you will have finished whoever it was off to see her take down, would you? But it's neither here nor there. It's in her order. Why? Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. Really had time for a cup of tea, but the incident took place, to be honest. There must have been something left at the scene that led you directly to the culprits. A present reliable witness recognized the person in question. Wasting your time on this one. There's nothing you can do. There's no way to help the bloke now. Or even not. Simple. Prosecutor that's been assigned to this trial tomorrow is Lord Baroque Van Zeeks. Yeah! Sounds like you heard of him then. Oh yes, we are very familiar with Lord Van Zeeks. Believed to be the harbinger of death itself, the reaper of the Bailey. Yeah, Lord Baroque Van Zeeks, who we faced in court only yesterday. So McGill told us about him before trial in here. When Van Zeeks stands for the prosecution, he called the accused his sacrificial lamb. And in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. Until yesterday? This Reaper of the Bailey nickname. I suppose he's earned that because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty. Is that it? Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector, that in yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zeeks, Senator Horder secured a verdict of not guilty. And what of it? I think it means that even against the Reaper of the Bailey, it's not impossible to save the defendants. You really don't have a clue, do you? Will it be that they actually all die in the end? What do you mean? What happened to that bloke in the end? He's dead. Magnus McGilded came a cropper, the omnibus when it went up in flames. You can't really say you saved the defendant, can you? What are you trying to say? Who convinced these could get the dirt to stick on everyone? The miracle walker. That's not how it goes. He doesn't walk miracles. He walks magic. Black magic. Have a good long think about that, if I were you. Are we really supposed to believe that? Yes, it is. I guess he's right. I guess maybe they all die. But why? Right, well, I'll fill you in as requested, and we're nearly out of chips. I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. We're still carrying out a few investigations there. It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? But the incident took place. That's correct, ma'am. If you head over to the holding cells, you can meet the criminal himself. We branded him a criminal already. He's as good as shaking like a leaf in his cell. It gave you a chuckle if nothing else. His inmate Phil 53. Speak to the jailer, and he'll show you the way. Inmate 53. Thank you. There's no helping anyone against the repair of the Bailey, they say. Something troubling you, Mr. Naruhodo. Tell the truth, I recall the trial yesterday. I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in court again is... Well, if you think it's too much for you, there's no shame in turning the case down. It takes courage too. Never ever will I do this. I want to be his sacrificial lamb. If the man they arrested is innocent, we well imagine he will be shaking like a leaf in his cell. And I, for one, wouldn't find the side of that funny. Though, if I'm honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's events myself. I'm really not sure if I'm able to help this man, whoever he is. I'd like to try. I think I'm going to make some inquiries. Will you help? Everything you had to ask. They're all, I'm your judicial assistant. Thank you. So then, shall we? Let's go. Time to investigate the crime scene. Okay, what can we see quickly? This is where it happened. Briar Road. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Snowman? Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. Unmistakable. The men of Lala here, investigating as we speak. That is the job, you know. But Mr. Naruhodo, it's in one of my own eyes. Often depicted in the adventure of Herlock Sholmes, never dreamt I'd ever come this close. The real Hot Bobby's helmet. Helmets? Of course. Let's try one on one day. Oh, you had a dream comes true. I don't see Inspector Gregson anywhere, but we see if we can sneak past and investigate the scene of the stabbing. Why should we sneak? I don't want to upset one of those hobnobbies and be battered on the head by one of those metal helmets. My skull could crack in two, I'm sure. An English Bobby will never do such a thing. It's a land of gentlemen, you know? Yeah. What a delightful snowman. I didn't realize the English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepy though. And his scarf, look. You need one if you were out in the freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one. I'm afraid the budget is somewhat frozen at the moment. We certainly can't afford the scarf. But the snowman here wouldn't miss his. The person who made the snowman certainly would. Yes, I know you're right. Anyway, even if I borrowed it, wouldn't do much to warm my neck, wouldn't it? Covered in snow. Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to crime scenes and cart away criminal. You're very well informed, aren't you? It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London. I'll just pick up a stone and throw it through one of those windows then. That will mean being arrested in order to ride it. Wouldn't want it. Well, if it's the only way, help me find a good stone. Wasn't serious. Hey, quite good to do it like that. Let's see clearly what we can interact with. This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred. It's a very wide open space, isn't it? That's true, I can't see anywhere in that curve could have been hiding. What are you foreigners doing here? Just investigating the scene. Sparring with that mustache fellow from Japan, are you? Sparring? Stage. I'm here to destroy evidence, have you? Get out of here before I give you in hiding. Go on. He shooed us away like rats. Guess we should give him a wide berth, I think. But it's a disappointing experience. It's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. Was making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. The feeling that if we wanted to close, we'll be clapped in irons. A little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause of concern. I'm getting caught out again. This is enough. Found myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. Guess you had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. Does you no favors at all. I guess we'll not do anything. Don't find anything out of place. A road. Bars snow on the pavement here and there. The road itself is covered in carriage racks. It seems carriages often travel down Briar Road. It soon disperses all the snow. I slipped over when I was walking down the pavement earlier. Look at the road is like that. Seems like it will be far safer to walk on the road instead. You're rather small, Mr. Naruto. Dressed all in black. Or a coachman might not see you, and you could be flattened by horses. Well, thank you for the rather small concern. Oh look, it's Strand Street. That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history. Authenticity seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks decidedly worse shaped than the other houses around here. Let's find some chill lodging ourselves as soon as possible. Right, cheap but ideally with reasonably level floors. Bricked windows. We should have windows. Just better fill in with bricks. Right, I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property, nevertheless at the moment. The smoke coming from the chimney though. Oh dear, everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place. But the last thing will be his bicycle. A British bicycle look. Although the wheel is so mishappened, I'm sure he couldn't possibly be riding anymore. He must have been doing some breakneck cycling. It seems the bicycle had become extremely popular in London recently. There's even the movement to change women's dress to allow them to ride as well. Bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone will want to ride something like that. You dislike bicycles? Not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them at all. Yet that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. Even if you tried walking on stilts and fall into a river, I know you'd agree with me. We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around. Well, I guess that's it. Let's move. Okay, let's go to the inmate 53. The Japanese, it seems. These are British prison cells. They're ghastly. It just feels like a dungeon. Isn't having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that a barn cell feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Mr. Hodo, you're making it seem worse. Apparently your client is in this cell there. It's so dark in the back, at the back there. I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like. In May 53, the legal representative is here to see you. Stop hiding in the back of the cell and show your face at once. Am I a cat? As yet with no name. Calling me by a number, it's utterly unbelievable. Justly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. We know this man. What do you think is going on here? I've no idea, but I wasn't just hearing things, was I? That thread of complaints was in Japanese. Who are you? You're terribly beautiful. Maybe. Excuse me, but who? Quiet. They're all around hiding. I know they're here. Watching and listening. Even now, I can sense it. Alright, so could I ask you who exactly there you are? You come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. A ghost. Well, I guess he's crazy. Let's go! You mean you no harm, prisoner-san, are you? Japanese, by any chance? This is beyond my wildest dreams. Oh, he's crying. I will cry too. What old eyes you have here. Forgive me for that albus before. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. We're just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it. It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown and here I am, the frail little fix in a foreign land. So hearing the sweet sentimental tones of a compatriots' voice here, this damp, dark hellhole was. Most momentarily moving moments, what the hell? Who could have guessed that this new client Lord Strongheart assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese? What compassion my fellow countrymen show. Dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend me. For his son. Noble, nurturing, never failing Nippon. First-class lawyer. Or I think he's been something of a misunderstanding here. I wonder would you be so kind as to tell us what happened? Or you've been detained as a suspect, for example? Yes, I can, I will. Don't stay sullen and silent. He did it. He did it. It's only him. Yeah, forget it. It's him. I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy. Yeah, he does. Just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for cooperation. I'm a lawyer, as you said. My name is Ryusuke Naruhodo. And I am Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Taro Mikotobe. I'm a visiting student there. Student? Question mark? And hereby governance. The boy notorious named Natsume. Soseki Natsume. I guess you can be a student at any age, so whatever. So, what an unusual name. Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see. Rather a haiku. It's something of not a plume. You mean an alias? That's right, Naruhodo-san. Don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that. In haiku, it really reminds me of home. I hear you say that you were with visiting students sent over here by the government. Yes, that's right. A year ago I was told to go and study English, but I had to suffer that misery. And now this. It's beyond the pale. For the misery, I do not want to study here. I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. But just because the government tells you to do something, does it mean you can do it? No. What do you mean? You told me to study English literature, that I could have understood. That's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly unbelievable, unjustly unreasonable. Isn't that the same thing? I see. Only the other day I was told to send a report about my first year here. I handed a blank piece of paper. Boys, words on white. It's very annoying. Must be a man of great standing. Oh yes, I'm often told. After likes to be told, it seems. So, what have you done? Well, we already know, but what do you think about it? Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Sasaki-san? I didn't do it. I didn't commit that atrocious murder. Is still alive? Murder. Oh no, it's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? She was stabbed with a knife, right before my eyes. Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker? I didn't see anyone. Huh? I'd seen the person who did it. You think be locked up in here? Or did it seem that the case is becoming rather complicated? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? Ouch. It's the curse of London, it's... Saki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. It's well that we find out more about the case. Tell me more, then. It wasn't a cursed evening, just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books and was on my way back to my cousin's lodgings. Lodgings? Here the bookshop was accursed too. As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another hair ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat. Was it just as I went over to overtake her? Long. She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed into the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. Oh, terrible. I called out to the woman. She didn't move. It was like... Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. I was terrified I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs could carry me back to my accursed lodgings. You flee the scene. That's not good. They'll say it was shameful. I know, to run like that. Was the victim an acquaintance of yours? That'd be ridiculous. If you know any of these fair-haired English and a young woman at that. I'm different, shy, timid, and sure. I can't talk to people. I see. The young woman unknown to Saseki. And at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Anybody pass you? Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. No one. Oh great. The victim wasn't known to you. There was nobody else on the street at the time. It creates something of a conundrum, isn't it? What? So what do you mean, Sato? What's the conundrum? Well, if what Sasaki has just told us is true, there's something I can't explain. Didn't he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else in the scene, and he apparently fled without having been seen? I did. If that's the case, well, this man has to be the culprit. What did you just say? Nothing. I didn't say anything. Perhaps I thought that a little loudly. Huh? Actually, that's not what was troubling me. What I was thinking was how did Saseki-san actually came to be arrested? He didn't touch the victim and there was nobody on the scene to see him. How did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place? This is right. It was him. That accursed great detective. He led the police to me. With all the bad luck. Accursed great detective? Sherlock Holmes. I want to see him. I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live. What with his outer laugh and his self-proclaimed greatness. May you be cursed until the end of your days, Sherlock Holmes. It's Sherlock. I knew it. I'm glad that he's back. Because he can be with us. Or against us. With Lord Van Zeeks. Good thing. Good interaction maybe. The best of the wars. Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure. It was the morning after the nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. It was gnawing on the silver of hard cheese when some man suddenly burst in through the door. They started shouting at me. It's the police. Put the weapon down. Yes, it was a thin silver, and yes, it was hard. But I wasn't eating a weapon. You clearly had a trying morning yesterday. And there he was in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. Sherlock Holmes. It's actually just Sherlock Holmes in English. Since found out that he's a famous name in detection here in London. Yes, the great detective is really very well known. His overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts apparently. Thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman. This week, stooped clean of a man. Okay, wonder what great detective process led him to his conclusion this time. You mean to say, Mr. Sholm's deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really most unreasonable. Well, the thing is, I was thrown into panic when they barged their way in. Of course you were, that's all natural. I was terrified and trembling. He kept throwing question after question at me. In impossible English. Well, we are in England. Can't really blame them for questioning you in English. Good point, but my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes I do, and I'm fine. Next thing I knew, I was in Chronicles. Before I knew it, I was training here. I'm afraid that's hardly surprising. I'm fine, he's not fine now. Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You can't just call me Naruhodo. When we're speaking English, a simple mister is more than enough. It really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind. Please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you? Well, why is it so hard to say yes to me? Well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself on a study tour. Just a law students. They defended the case in the Old Bailey. Only the one though. At this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means. Naruhodo, I live in the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm a sort of locum lawyer, I suppose. That armband, that's the mark of a defense lawyer from a great empire. To keep safe from the man who should have been here was my best friend. Keepsake. And exactly what they're saying about me. What do you mean? The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers, they won't defend me. Why do you say that? For the same reason as you noted before when it happened. I was only the victim and myself around. I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. No, it looks as though I must be the culprits. It must be really very hard for you, Sosaki-san. In any way, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them. Somebody not to be trusted. I had them openly laughing at me before my ears showed without any compassion at all. Any trial for his man would be a waste of time, they said, and of course, the foreigner did it. Even had the gall to say, the man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway. It's awful. They're wrong. I said more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets. I travel halfway around the world, learn about this people's country and its great history. No one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. At the very least. I like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me, in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? I look into your eyes. You can see it. You can see what you've been through. Because it's just that. It'd be pretty hard to prove it. Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can. For the time being. What do you mean? We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us a much better chance, I'm sure. Oh yes, thank you. I'll be here, all alone waiting for you. Welcome, students, from Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. We should be going then. We have a case to prepare for. See you. Do we have anything new here? Hello. What's the Japanese delegation doing here? Dr. Gregson? This isn't on the tourist trail. I'm fairly sure you're well aware. Of course, we're here to investigate. You've been to the holding cell. Then, what do you make of the criminal? He's not a criminal as you put it, Inspector. He's suspects, not the same thing. Really different. just missing a trial. What's about that? You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. What about your fish and chips? Guess you can't really be far from it. Well, do what you will, it doesn't bother me. Blokes in call tomorrow, whatever happens, and the verdict's a foregone conclusion. It's called the stone cold air of rejection. Take heart, London at this time of year is full of stone cold hot air. That makes it worse somehow. Okay, tell me about Scotland Yard Inspector. Ever since I read about it in the Adventure of Hell Chums, I've been fascinated by the place. The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am. Doubts. Oh, and you know, I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. Just make them look at their parts. The policeman there with his helmet on. I only get the sense that this is a man who will take no sort of nonsense in his duty of protecting the city. It doesn't look wonderful. In London, nobody's hard going, I can tell you. Really? First thing in the morning, what he does goes round and rouses all the labourers on his beat so they can get off to walk. I just saw actually a wheel of bicycle just behind you. I think that maybe this linked to the case, but we never know. Wakes people up. Outside the windows with a long pole, with myself going back a bit. Talking about the light. But he works for the people of the town, just another one of his duties. After that, he starts silently patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day, that's regulation distance. Can you imagine how far that is? It sounds like a long way. Let me see. 3 miles, that's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. On foot, that's definitely taking things a step too. When it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps. So it is him, actually. Why are we talking about... I suppose in between all of those duties, Bobby is expected to investigate cases as well. In check after criminals trying to evade the law. I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly, more alongside, yes. Expected to handle those jobs as well. They have been killing over from time to time, admits. Always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. It's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you. Tsunahodo. A heavy heart will be heavy-headed if you do. Okay, it happened at around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there on that open bed of payments. I see. The victim was a young woman who was stabbed with a blade from behind. Okay, according to what we heard already, it's quite good. It is right that the lady is still unconscious now. You mentioned that she'd been treated in hospital. You say she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, you won't be able to find out much about her at all. I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. Here's a map of the local area. Happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really, are you sure? It's your policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information. Not actually accepted the job yet, but still. Thank you, Inspector. Grateful accept. As far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. Who did it, do you think? Not much of a head scratcher, is it? I know Mr. Natsumi is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around. Just because he didn't see anyone doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure. How? Because, ma'am, precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. There are two very reliable witnesses, no less. It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them. We're witnesses now. Okay, who are these witnesses, Inspector? The fellow and his wife, the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard. A policeman as a witness. That might change things. This policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked. Nothing particular about that, ma'am. Part and parcel of being a bobby, really, of being a bobby. Yes, so they are both, I guess. Catching them banging the act and all that. You think it might be possible for us to ask the policeman of a few questions? Be my guest, you can ask him what you like. And call tomorrow. Oh, no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. That give you something to look forward to. That's that then. Good intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. The policeman witnesses the incidents. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make your job very difficult indeed. As a judicial assistant, could have warned me of that too. I usually believe more policemen, of course. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector. The person who led you to this suspect. I hear that it was Mr. Sherlock Holmes. What are you bringing him up for? Was it something I said? The color has drained from his neck, cheeks. Okay, that twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. You're going to defend him or not? Well, maybe. Because I haven't decided yet. Makes a difference to me, but I will just say this. The London lawyer will set off his salt will touch that case with a barge pole. Because the prosecution is being held by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean? There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange though. Reaper didn't appear in court once for a good few years now. 5 years actually. We did hear something like that. The only people he usually bothers with are the real scum, master criminals, violent ones, murderers usually. Violent ones. That's right, he handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins. And Mr. Natsumi will hang for that, for what he's accused of, surely. That's not my point, sunshine. The young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. I even say the intent was there. This isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, or want of a better phrase. Not exactly many infractions, it's... I guess you can be interested in many things. Right now. There's got to be more of it. Some reason he's taking an interest. Really? What's of it reason, Inspector? You think you can tell what's going on inside the head of that lawyer of Narkness? You have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial. Yay. Be happy. While you sad. Mr. Sholmes, Where do you hear that name from? It was Mr. Nasume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. It was a result of one of Mr. Sholmes' special grade deductions. Your father. Huh? The man's an amateur. I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of a crime. Wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. He's quite astounding, isn't he? He is a great help to the Scotland Yard, though, isn't he? I guess the answer is no. Have you ever seen this before? Yes? Wonderful publication in which the image of Sherlock Holmes appears. Yes, well, that wonderful publication is you put it. It fits to include several of the Yard's detective in its stories. The so-called great detectives makes a mockery of all of us. You ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure. You've been included in any Sherlock Holmes tale at all. I suppose there's an element of that. We walk the socks off every one of us, only to be thumped by the public thanks to that ominous detective. Man as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all criminals. I guess you feel a bit hurt. The great detective and the police have a complex relationship. Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. Sir Ronaldo, can I make a suggestion? Yes, what is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. By him, do you mean Holmes? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, exactly. Look at those shining eyes, you can't wait, can you? Mr. Nesime did blame Mr. Holmes for all of this, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Holmes again. The trouble is, we have no idea of the man's address, even so how. It's Baker Street. How do you know that? It's in the stories, of course. 121B, Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. Actually exists. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We'll try to find our way there before Sato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable. Okay, so we're to have a reunion already with the great detective Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Okay, let's move a bit. Ooh, what a beautiful house. Mansion? Well, unfortunately, if you want to meet Mr. Holmes, you have to wait until next week. Yeah, I guess I'm really tired right now. I can't even read, and I'm starting to doze off, actually. So, yeah, I hope you had still a great time. It was a great. How do we say that again? It's. I don't have the word at all. A bit. I don't have the word at all. Come on, come back, please. It's Even in another language. In another language. What the hell is wrong with my nose? I'm good. Okay, I'm good. Oh, I got it. It was a bit clumsy, yes. Well, we did it in the end. As always, have a good day or a good night, and we'll see each other later. Have a good day. Wait, I repeat myself. I'm very sorry that I'm a bit tired right now. I thought I would be this much tired until we reached this point. I tried to keep myself a bit awake. That's the best I could do. Sorry about that. Why did it to be? I made it a bit longer. Just said, just so that we can reach at least one interesting point. Anyway, I guess I rest for today. See you.